everybody. How is everybody doing today? Hope everybody's doing great. So, welcome to the stream. Just clicked off broadcast. Alright, so I'm going to break down how Alabama State's went and how Mississippi State's went. What we did, or I did differently at each. What I did the same at each. What I learned by playing the Blackbird team. And I'm going to go from there. See if y'all have any questions. You can type them in chat. If you have any other questions, you can just, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can go through and set down or comment with your questions, and I'll be happy to answer them when I have a chance. Alright, so let's get started with the actual build. So the build was 55-point Blackbird. I know the screen says Quinjet resource dial, but the Quinjet and the Blackbird resource dial are the same actual dial here, but it doesn't actually do the exact same things here, so don't read into that. But I can go through and explain the differences between the Blackbird and the Quinjet for that part. Alright, so for the Blackbird, I played it on its 55 point. I decided to do this because PJ told me, no, I'm just kidding. So me and some other people sat down at Origins. They were talking. Blackbird came up. We threw around some ideas, nothing important. I'm guessing Lucas, PJ, and Adam sat down a little bit later and actually hashed out this team, apparently. Not that I care or don't care. Lots of people have come up with a similar team. PJ actually ran this team 2 weeks ago? A week ago? At an event in, was it WKO, I think? And I don't think he won there. I know he did just win Nationals, though. He did win Nationals with their Canadian Nationals, let me correct that. Or the Little America Nationals is what I think they call it now. Little American Nationals, or I don't know. It's something like that. But it goes through. Oh, that's not what I need. There we go. And he played this build and won. I played it as well. As we saw with Easton on stream last Wednesday, he was going to play this team. He didn't end up getting a Wolverine, I think, a third Wolverine, so he couldn't play the Wolverine, which he switched out for Psylocke. I don't know if that helped him or hurt him more or not, but he definitely played the team very well. We'll get to the actual tournament soon, but let's go over the Blackbird. So the Blackbird starts at 55 points, or this starting line starts with Stealth, ESD, 16 Defense, and Empower. I don't think I used Empower a single time this weekend. Stealth didn't occur to me until probably game... Well, I guess it was round 2. No, it was game 3, because I played Easton in round 2. So it was round 3 that Stealth occurred to me on the Blackbird. It just didn't click in my head because I played against so many unis that you see through Stealth. But, so I never worried about it, but it clicked in my head like, oh my god, I should be using this as Stealth and not being stupid. With Stealth and not being stupid. Which actually helped me a lot in, I think, my round 4, which we'll get to. But Stealth became important. The 16 defense is a real big letdown. So you would normally, your first 2 turns, you're perplexing that up by 3, just in case they get in there with close combat. Then you go to the Quinjet dial. It's the Blackbird dial, just different. So these numbers here are represented by, it's a point value. On click 1, which it starts on, is a 10-point value. That's where it starts. Every time you call in an ID card, and this resource only costs 5 points. Every time you call in an ID card, you roll a d6. You may roll a d6. That came up in the finals against Edwin in Mississippi. You may roll a d6 to click it up that many clicks. So if you call in, say, a Rusty at 25 points and you roll a 2, it will go up 2 clicks to 30 points. Which, remember that, you need a 2 to get it to 30 points. But if you roll a 6, it goes all the way up to 70 points, so on and so forth. Then it has this really cool ability about calling people in as most of us call it, a real girl or real boy. You know, got to be gender neutral, or a real person. So the Quinjet gives it as a free action. We don't give it as a free action. I should probably zoom in on this so y'all can see a little better. Boom, boom, boom. I think y'all can see better. Kind of? Maybe one more? Yeah, I think that's better. Okay, so give Quinjet a free action and choose an ID character. So the other one says, give Blackbird a power action and choose an ID character on your sideline of equal or lesser points than the resource dial indicates. So I call in Rusty. He's 25 points with a Moira. Turn 1, I roll a d6. If I roll a 2 or higher, or actually 1, it goes to click 2. A 2, 3, 3, 4, 4 is a 5, so on and so forth. And then you can take a power action with the Blackbird to call out a character, like, say, a leech. So if I roll a 2 or higher, I can take a power action with the Blackbird and call out a leech that stays on the board. You may place that ID character on the map adjacent to the Quinjet and remove that ID card from the game. That's a different wording. But you spend that ID card, the teammate or the opponent scores it immediately, so that's now 6 points you've used because you used the Rusty ID card, which is 3 points, and the Leech ID card in the same turn for 3 points, which is actually really good in the Unimind matchup because now you have a Leech to pick powers that he can't use before he gets to pick powers. Which I did in every Lockjaw and Unimind team. This was normally my first turn that I played. And then you roll a d6 to reset the Quinjet back down to whatever click number you roll. So if you roll a d6, say you roll a 3, it goes to click 3. But if it's a student ID for the Blackbird, it goes to click 3 plus 1, or it's a 3 plus 1 on the d6, and you go to click 4. So if you roll a 4 or higher on that roll for the resource, you can real boy in another character at 50 points the next turn, say a Wolverine or a Cyclops. Alright, so we'll go to the next. Oh, and the other thing is about the ID characters. The ID character is no longer an ID character. It can't ignore pushing damage and is returned to your sideline when it would take damage, is another change that was made to the wording on this for the Blackbird. So you cannot KO that character. You used to be able to one-shot characters with the Quinjet and score their points. But it says when they would take damage with the Blackbird, so you cannot KO them for their full points. There is, let's see, next thing is a Wolverine. I ran 2 Wolverines, good 100 points. So I feel like Wolverine is the most broken piece for 50 points ever possible in the game. I will explain to you why that is in a second, but I think it is just ridiculously dumb, awesome, whatever some people want to call it. So let's just go ahead and look at this and count them up. So let's just get a counter on here. So how do I do count? Let's see. Calculator maybe? No, that's too dumb. Is there a scratch pad? No. Whatever. We'll just count in our heads. On our fingers. How about that? You can see my fingers. Alright, so Wolverine starts on his dial. We'll go with his dial first. He has charge. He has blades. I'm going to ignore toughness because that's like the weakest power or defensive power in the game, in my opinion, other than like barrier. Barrier's pretty strong. But anyways, there's so much stuff. You just do 3 damage, you go to stop quick. So I'm not considering that an advantage of Wolverine. So I'll just leave that as a mute point. It's not an advantage or a disadvantage. So he's got 2 good powers already. So charge and flare, or charge and blades. Then we'll go with exploit if he takes a click of damage, or he decides to push, or tries to heal someone with his X-Men team ability, which is on his dial as well. Then he also has a stop click, which gives him Battle Fury to ignore shape change. So that's 6 powers on his dial alone. Let's not forget Indom. Sorry. So that's 7 powers on his dial alone. Then let's move to his actual card, or his abilities that are guaranteed by traits. Oh, actually, and regen is on his stop click, so that's 8 powers just on his click already. So let's then go to his traits, or abilities, like hindering terrain. That's number 9. Then you have leadership. That's 10. Perplex is 11. A free ID card is 12. And then you can go with 13 as the free attack. And then the most relevant one probably is Flurry. So that's 14. And then I guess you could say, actually it did really help me with the Sharks, the King Sharks team I played against, so combat reflexes. So you have a 50-point figure with 15 powers that are all relevant. The only irrelevant power he has, which would make it number 16, is toughness. Because if something can't do 3 damage to him to get him to a stop click, then it probably shouldn't be attacking him. But it's whatever. We'll see. So the 15 power, 50-point figure. If you can't say broken, you say it like this. Wolverine. Okay. Alright, so you have 2 of those on the team. Yay. Then you go to a Cyclops, which also is, I wouldn't say is broken. It's not as broken as, say, a, what was that broken piece? Oh, Wolverine. That's right. But this guy, he pilots the jet. Oh, man, that's the biggest thing I forgot about the jet. Man. So you put this Cyclops into the jet. We'll go over Cyclops in a second because we're going to go back to the jet. And you put this Cyclops in the jet, which gives him an awesome power when the Blackbird is KO'd. So when the Blackbird is KO'd, or wrecked, and a character with the X-Men keyword as the pilot, do not roll a d6. So it won't take damage. After resolutions, modify that character's combat values by +1 until the end of turn, which is awesome. I can put a 25-point Moira in there, pilot this thing, and it gets KO'd and takes no damage, comes out, and has +1 to its stats. So now I have a Moira for 25 points with a 10 attack and 2 for, okay, cool, works for me. But let's go back to the last part of this. If that character's name is also named Cyclops, heal him 1 click, and modify his combat values an additional +1. This power has protected outwit. So if you KO my Blackbird, which many people did, I'd probably say 8 of the 16 games I played this weekend, the Blackbird was KO'd. I guarantee you every single person who KO'd it regretted KOing it after Cyclops came out. Maybe not Easton, because he just killed mine, I killed his. It was back and forth, but we'll get to the actual gameplay here shortly. But So if it's a Cyclops, comes out with +2 to its stats until my next turn, until your next turn. Because on my turn, it's at the end of the turn. So I get to attack you with a 13 attack. Also, so if an X-Men is piloting this, friendly characters adjacent get +2 to their range. That does not stack uh, with a minimum value because I was dumb and skipped over a part, so I had to get that clarified at one point. If the Blackbird moved, it gets +1s to his defense. And it also can carry 5 characters, which, as you see on my team, is pretty important because let's count here. Blackbird is the 1 character, so I'm going to carry 1 Wolverine, 2 Wolverines. Cyclops is going to be piloting, so that's only 2 characters. 2 Moiras, so that's 3 characters. And the Thug, so that's, wait, 2 Moiras is 4 characters. And then the Thug is 5th character. As long as the Pym tank is adjacent to the Blackbird, it can follow behind it. We'll go over that power shortly, but that's why I can carry 5 and get up with the tank. Alright, so let's go back to the Cyclops now that that's done. Alright, so Cyclops has running shot, precision strike, willpower, X-Man TA. He has a good energy explosion if he does take some damage. Then he gets range combat expert and mastermind. I've never had him on the field long enough to, or like no one's ever dealt 2 damage to him. Somebody did ping me with a shredder after he got popped out of the thing. So he did go to his energy explosion once, which actually hurt them in the end because of energy explosion stuff. But alright, so let's go back into this. So he's got the same trait, the Headmaster X-Men, that Wolverine has, so he gets the Leadership Perplex and a free ID card. And then stay away from my students as well, so he gets to make a range attack targeting someone who damaged a friendly X-Men. Alright, so he also ignores blocking terrain, which is huge sometimes. There was a game I actually took a power action with the jet because I was out of the Cyclops ID card to call out the Cyclops and shoot through blocking to kill someone. So that was a lot of fun. Yeah, so Cyclops is really good. Moira's there for the Headmaster trait also. She also can push to outwit, and she can sidestep around, so she can reposition the tank if you need, or she can reposition so you can get more perplexes in. But she has leadership perplex, and you can include a free student ID. So I have 2 of those. Oh, big thing on hers, she has the X-Men TA. The X-Men TA I used a lot this weekend to heal Wolverines off of their stop clicks. It was really funny. People would try really hard to put a Wolverine to a stop click. And then I would just call out with that Wolverine or with someone adjacent to that Wolverine to call out the Wolverine, heal him a click, and then sidestep over to him. X-Men TA to heal him, and then I would use the X-Men TA to heal him back up all the way to his full dial. So pretty much like they did nothing, and that was a lot of fun, and people really didn't like it. So Moira was good for that. Then we have the Thug. He helps you complete the theme team because he can. He keeps the keyword for the theme, but he can't use theme team prob, which I never really ran into. Wasn't a factor really, but the Thug actually did work for me this weekend. He KO'd quite a few pieces at some points. Like I killed a Makari with him once. I killed some Walking Woods with this guy. It was pretty good. You could also, since he has the X-Men keyword, if you damage him with an attack, I get free attacks on you as well. I can also perplex him because he gets that keyword. I can also leadership off of him. Never did that though, but I could. Then we'll get down to the Pym Pocket Tank. So the Pym Pocket Tank is a bystander. You don't have to keep that considered for theme. So this trait right here was kind of put in there before they realized that their own rules didn't make it break theme, um, which is kind of funny to me. But hey, is what it is. So the Pym Tank actually has to start the game next to an adjacent friendly character. When the friendly character moves, and after action resolve, you may place the Pym Tank. So that's how the Quinjet can carry all of the 5 characters that are out, and then go across the map. So I can move the Blackbird, place everything, and then I can decide to follow with the Pym Tank, and it just sits or comes adjacent. It's not considered moved or anything, or it is considered placed, as you can place it. So you can't take actions or anything. You can take actions with it. Anyways, not an important fact at this point. Anyways. Alright, so this one is why the Pym Tank is on it. It's really fun. It was errated originally, it was a lot better before. But when an adjacent friendly character attacks an opposing character, the attacker may modify its attack value by -1. If they do and hit, instead of normal damage, replace the Pym Pocket Tank with the Pym Particle Tank on its orange starting line with one of its squares adjacent to the target. Don't care about the part if they were Ant-Man, Giant Man. Alright. When replacing this character, you may ignore characters and blocking terrain. When placing it, then destroy any squares of blocking it is placed into. Any characters in squares it would be placed into are placed adjacent to it, and after actions resolve, any character placed in this way are dealt 2 damage. So let's go to a map. By the way, I don't know who it was that did this, but I'm guessing it was Nick or Tyler maybe, but the Blackbird hate is real. He didn't even put the Blackbird up correctly, so it should have looked like that. But shout out to you for trying. Actually, I don't even delete all of these. Let's just delete most of these. So let's say this is the big tank. Unimind decides to shoot at... No, let's go with... I'm shooting at Unimind with Cyclops, and I have the baby tank. I don't even know if I have the baby tank. It's not like that. Let me grab it real quick. That's not it. There it is. Baby tank. Boom. Alright, so baby tank is sitting next to Cyclops. I have perplexed up my attack by 4. So it's a 3 because I get a -1 for the tank being adjacent. I shoot at... Let's put his actual, like... He's got a team over here. And he called out Jean Grey this last turn. And they have a Walking Wood as well. Let's go with the Walking Wood. Do I have a Walking Wood? Oh yeah, I do. It's right there. Alright, Walking Wood. And he has a Walking Wood as well. So, I'm going to shoot at Unimind. Actually, I don't even have to say shoot at Unimind. Let's say I shoot at Lockjaw, because Unimind perplexes his defense. I hit... I decide to replace this with this guy. I may decide to place the jet right over top of him, like, or not the jet, the tank, right here. So let's send that to the back. Because I can consider this square adjacent, or the square that Unimind's in adjacent for placing the character. So it doesn't matter where I place it, I can then move them. Let's say I go like that. That, and this guy would die from the 2 damage. So Unimind would remove a token. Jean Grey would take 2 damage on her 60 points, and Unimind would probably not take anything because he's got reducers the whole way. But I get to reposition his whole team, do damage to, or take a click or a token off of Lockjaw and damage the Jean Grey just for dropping this tank. But remember, you're giving up 42 points for doing that. So this Pym Pocket Tank is only worth 8 points. This comes in and replaces it and is worth 50 points. So if Unimind turns around and hits this Pym Tank, you essentially die. What up, Dirt? not die, but you essentially take the damage, and I get to reposition your whole team. But if you KO it, you get 50 points. So hopefully I can get 50 points or more. So hopefully I have another character, say a Wolverine, who can charge this Jean Grey and kill her before the end of turn. All right. So that's why the tank is cool. Then we go into ID cards. I have a Wolverine with a super rare Wolverine, so just a backup Wolverine, but the healing is awesome. You can heal up the Jet, you can heal up a Cyclops, you can heal up anything on the team if it calls in next to it, like a Wolverine per se, like I said earlier. Professor X is for Brood X. You can shoot Colossals from 10 squares away if you're adjacent to the Quinjet, which is cool. You don't have to perplex his range, which I messed up in the finals of Mississippi, but we're not going to talk about that. Then we have the Cyclops ID, just to get another Cyclops out there. If you real boy him out, it's pretty cool, because if your Cyclops somehow died or something, I think I killed Easton's Cyclops, so it was really weird, but cool at the same time. And he got in it with this, I think, yeah. But you can do that. He's really good. Colin shoots through blocking. Gets a free attack as well when he comes in, just like the Wolverine, if you hurt an X-Men. So that's how you can get 3 free attacks and 4 free attacks in a turn if you really need to. 5 possibly if the situation is correct. Then with the boxing ring, that is to help protect the Blackbird. The Blackbird is pretty weak. I really didn't mind when people killed the Blackbird. I did if it was early, but it didn't really affect the games usually. But it helps protect it. You can go in there and take up most of the thing. Shredders love to come in there against you because they like close combat. But you try to keep them away, and I'll explain how to do that. Then you go down here, and these 5-point call-ins from the boxing ring down are actually 3 points. These are the student ones that they haven't put on HC Realms yet. But you have the Jean Grey. She can come in at 60 points. Has Outwit, a free TK, 10 attack, penetrating Psychic Blast. The Apocalypse power, where if she takes damage is KO'd, you take damage. What else? I think that's it. Free TK, Pinsai. Oh, Outwit. Outwit's big with her. That's always awesome. Unimind drops Power Cosmic to perplex something, and then you just outwit him. Then you have Cyclops as a student. So on Alabama, I actually ran the super rare Cyclops. In Mississippi, I ran the Chase Cyclops. I changed to the Chase Cyclops because of the Force Blast. I wanted to go, I needed to be able to Force Blast Star Fox, and I figured there'd be a lot more Star Foxes, so I just needed to make sure that happened. Oh, man. What is going on in here? Tyler and oh man, Dan and Nate are arguing in the clicks to off in the clicks to off Discord, and it's pretty funny about teams. So let's see, going back to this. Yeah, so Jean Grey, the Iceman Colin, you can get more Pogs. You can real boy him in. He's got Pulse Wave if you need it. See, maybe you run into a full point Goblin King. You can real boy him out. And actually, so the Jean Grey, the Iceman, and the Student Cyclops, not the super rare Cyclops, can only be brought in by the Blackbird's resource style. For the extra part, they can't be actually called in because no one on the team is 60 points or more. So you have to remember that if you KO the Blackbird early, I can't call in Jean Grey, Iceman, or Cyclops if I have the Chase Cyclops on the sideline. So that's a big deal. I actually have my there's 8 ID cards on this team and the Pim Pocket tank, or in the pocket or in the Pim Particles tank on the sideline. So that's all 9 slots. I cannot exchange out a single character for different matchups. I have to go into the whole tournament prepared with every single ID card already on the sideline. And then Leech and Rusty, a cool combination, like I was telling y'all earlier. Call out Rusty early, roll up the resource dial, then Real Boy and Leech against Pick-a Power teams. It's a lot of fun, awesome way to start a game against a Unimind. And they're like, wait, what? I can't. Yeah. And I actually caught a few people off guard because I call them out. And it happened in a mirror match, or not mirror, it helped in a mirror matchup. Uh, really well, actually. Did this, and it actually hurts the Blackbird too, because the Blackbird actually can pick a power with its pilot abilities that the pilot can use when there's an attack or damage powers. So Cyclops is in there. It can pick leadership, perplex, precision strike. So I made sure it couldn't pick those things. And I also would go over, I went to the other side of them and outwitted charge, outwit, perplex, leadership on like 5 of his characters because he all had them bunched, and went into stealth. So neither of the Wolverines could charge me. The Moira couldn't perplex. The other Moira, who was actually pushed, couldn't outwit. And I think I outwitted the Pim Tank's toughness just because I could. I don't think I... Oh, and I outwitted the... I outwitted Perplex on the Jet so that when the time came for him to pick a power, I could either say Precision Strike if I thought he was attacking, or Leadership if I thought he was just going to clear. So it all just came down to the matchup. So that's how the team build went, and that was awesome. So day 1, Alabama. So first round, I played against a Gotham City Underground team. It was Haha Joke. No, it was not a theme team. It was Kite Man? Hold on. I gotta research this real quick. Maybe he didn't have a theme team. Kite. I can probably just put in Kite. Kite Man. He is. Okay, so Gotham City Underworld team had Kite Man, Penguin, Super Rare Penguin, Killing Joke Joker. It had 2 Joker Thugs, some call-ins, and the title Harley. I think he'd only practiced the team once or twice, he was telling me. But first turn, I moved up into my boxing ring, perplexed up my defenses, and passed turn. Carrying everybody, or put Cyclops in, carried everybody up, followed with the tank into my boxing ring. Then he decided he had the symbiote. Symbiote? Yes, he had the symbiote. And he wanted to put it on to Killing Joke Joker. So he carried up with Kite Man. He carried up the Penguin and Haha Joker. I decided to call out... No, I came up and flurried. So I came up and flurried the Kite Man. I perplexed up my attack, came up and flurried the Kite Man, and carried the Pim Tank with me. I hit the first one, put it down all the way, and then second one I decided to drop the tank, so attacked. It was only a 16 at that point, and I had like a 12 or 13 attack, and I decided to drop the tank, so drop the tank, killing his Kite Man. I did 2 damage to the Penguin, and 2 damage to to Killing Joke Joker, and then I put him closer to my team, away from anybody, and then I flurried on him with Wolverine that was still by my Jet, and killed his Killing Joke Joker in 1 turn. Then he came and shot at my tank with Harley, killed the tank, The tank actually didn't have the X-Men keyword, which really stinks because I didn't get free attacks. Then I charged over there with Wolverine, charged Wolverine, flurried, killed them, and I believe we called it after the thugs were dead, or after the Harley was dead. So it was a good game for first round for me. And then the real test happened. Round 2 was against Easton. Like I said earlier, Easton was playing the exact same team. I think him and PJ worked on this team together. And like I said, I got this team from a few ideas that we were talking about, but then I guess some other people ironed it out perfectly for what they thought was the best. And they went with the Pin Pocket Tank and Thug combination. But Easton was playing the exact same similar, except one ID change. Instead of the Wolverine, he had the Psylocke because he didn't have a third Wolverine. I win map. I took us to the sporting arena. First turn, I move up into the boxing ring, perplexes. He calls out Brood X. Can't remember if this was the final game or not the finals game. No, it was not. Okay. So no, it didn't call out Brood X. I'm sorry. He called out, or didn't call out anybody. He perplexed up his Cyclops' attack and shot my jet right away. Yeah, that's what it was. And he killed my jet. No, he didn't. That's right. So he missed my jet. Then he no, he did hit. Okay, so he did hit my jet. Then he sidesteps up, calls out Brood X. He used most of his perplexes to kill the jet. Then he tried to triple target some characters of mine. Oh, that's what it was. Okay, now I remember. Sorry. I was getting confused with the finals when I played him. So, first turn, he decided not to call out or get in the jet. He did come up and he sidestepped up, called out Brood X, and was going to shoot, and did shoot at my jet. I had a Wolverine, and a Thug up front, and he wanted to shoot at my jet, or at my characters, and he missed so he had to roll a 10 because he forgot about hindering terrain and then the map minus, so I was at 19. Yes. Either way, so he missed. He wasted 4 theme team probs on it. Then he shot my jet and killed it with his Cyclops. Next turn, I kill his Cyclops in one shot with the Cyclops that came out. I free attacked onto, I think, Brood X, killed him. Then he real boys out a Cyclops. That Cyclops gets in his jet. He comes up with some Wolverines, hits me some. I killed his jet. That Cyclops comes out. It doesn't take damage, so it doesn't go away automatically. And it went back and forth. Wolverines, some Moiras. I don't really remember the round 2 game, but I ended up winning. It was pretty close. Not. I wouldn't say I won by 50, but it wasn't as close as the finals. But I think I won by 25, maybe 30 points. I think I got a Moira, and he called in an extra ID card. But that game was close against Easton in the mirror match. And then round 3, actually, let me pull up. I forgot I could do this. Let's go to the win system. Sign in. And I can see what our points were. And I would walk 500 more. What? Oh, I have 500 wins now. All right. Let's go to events. Rock Alabama State Championship. That's the Final Four. See, messed up. View results. Let's go round one. I played with 5. Doug. I think he's a local there. Um, I guess Doug did call something out. Oh, he did, and I killed it. It was a Cyclops. Round 2 was against Easton. It was 149 to 76. That's what it was. Round 3. Who did I play? Oh, Edwin. This was a super close game. I ended up playing Edwin 3 times this weekend. We'll get to the other games later. So me and Edwin was playing a Shredder team. So he had Mini, Shredder Clone, Carnage, Pip the Troll, and Peace Machine. He had 5 characters, and the symbiote with ID cards. So turn 1, he actually attempted to go pick up the object with Carnage and bring it back to him, and I corrected him and said he could not pick up an immobile object, and he was like, oh, my bad. I just moved up into my box ring perplexed. He went and did, which pretty much carried up and waited on the object to waited on the object to pick it up for the next turn, so he passed. Then I came up and I hit the first attack onto Pip, putting him off of super senses. Second attack, I with Flurry, Pim tanked him, so dropped the tank, got him stuff off of this. I got his clone off of the whatever, the symbiote, moved it, and his Peace Machine was still in the back. So just did 2 damage to clone, killed the Pip, which he put the clone or the gem onto clone, and then 1 damage because he has toughness. Mini has toughness on top dial. Then I actually flurried on Mini with the second Wolverine and put him to, or actually reset him. So I perplexed up his attack and his damage to a 4. Outwitted his toughness, which I should have been not stupid and outwitted his combat reflexes, which it did cost me two theme team probs because of it. And then so I reset him, set him on the other side of my team, I think by a thug. So he had to make his way back. Oh no, I set it by my tank, that's right. Then he called in with Shredder Clone, that whatever he called, no, he called in, that's right, called in with Peace Machine, Beast. Beast outwitted and charged and damaged the, or killed the tank, so he's actually up on points at this point. I actually called in Brood X during my last turn, so 1 action was Wolverine, 2nd action was Wolverine, 3rd action was calling out Brood X with the actual tank, or the Blackbird, and shooting with Brood X at the Carnage to get it off the board. And the Carnage and the clone, I think, but I missed the clone. Then his turn, he kills the tank, moves up with the clone, pings one of my Wolverine, attacks, does not attack because he no longer has charge. No, what does a clone have on that click? I think he has Flurry. So he just moved up. So he was on click 3, he just moved up. Next turn, I kill Mini, and killed Mini. He calls out Rusty, shoots at the Wolverine. He actually kills one of my Wolverines, the one up front, because he flurries with the clone, and calls out Rusty, shoots at him to finish him off because he missed the first attack. Hit the second, and then Rusty came out and shot him. Um, and then I real boy out the Iceman, and I sidestepped, perplexed down my range by 2, and pulse waved, and this is where I messed up. I needed to perplex up attack, or damage by 1, and I perplexed up attack for some reason, even though I knew he was only going to be a 17, so an 11 on a 17 only needed a 6 with 3 theme team probs left. Just wasn't thinking. I thought I only needed to do 3 more damage. For some reason, I thought I did 3 damage to him already. But I put him to his last click. They were both pushed out, Beast Machine and Clone. And I passed turn. He tried to sidestep, breakaway. He did not. Then he tried to, then he did sidestep with Peace Machine, and time was called right after he sidestepped with Peace Machine and was about to clear. Okay, yeah, for sure, Tyler. I will answer that question. And then, so next turn I would have pulse waved to kill him, so I didn't have to deal with the Shark Shredder. And then probably went and flurried on the Peace Machine to kill him. Then let's see, round 4. Let's go to round 4. Actually, I know who this was. This is a guy named Steven Allen. His name is Hillbilly. This is what they call him at the store. He's a local. He was running. Let's count this. He was running 2 50-point giant girls, fast force giant girls. He's running a 50-point wasp. It's 150. He was running yellow jacket who can perplex all of them within range. He was running a 20-point normal giant girl, 20-point normal giant girl, 10-point giant girl, 10-point fast forces giant girl, and I think that was it. And some ID cards. No ID cards. I think that's the perfect math. 50, 50, 50. Oh, and Miss Marvel. Do you think Haha Joker is more broken at 50 points? How is Haha Joker more broken than a 15 power character with a stop click? You're on crack, Tyler. You're on crack. But Tyler said, I'm pretty sure Joker is way more broken at 50 points, just not as good in the current meta. I disagree 100%. Maybe before the errata, but not after. Not even maybe. Like, he's 1 damage. You have to equip him with something. Wolverine's just a beast without equipping. For a 50-point character, he is the most broken piece in the game, ever. That's a lie. I know people will say Uatu before the errata. Uatu before the errata was the most broken piece in the game. And let's see. So I played against him. I go up into the jet. He moves up with one of his giant girls to try to bait me into hitting it. It's a 50-point fast forces giant girl. I call out. I think it was Rusty. How many points is the 50-point giant girl? Or how many clicks? What is the giant? Oh, fries giant. Oh man. Did I put a space in front of it? I did. I was like, what's going on here? Giant girl, fast forces for 50 points. She's 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have to do 4 damage to her, 5 if you can't outwit the toughness. So I had pushed my Moira by turn 2 to get her to outwit. I then called out Rusty, rolled leaderships to get the jet unactioned. Then I perplexed up No, I didn't. It wasn't Rusty. Who did I call out? I called out. I think I called out Cyclops. I did. I called out Cyclops. I shot her to her stop click with perplexing up. I shot her to her stop click. But she, or I should say he, Steven, or Hillbilly, tried to theme team prob, which she does not have indom, so she took the damage after the action was over, which I don't think he realized. So I hit him to a stop click, and then he takes the pushing damage and died. It was pretty brutal. I felt bad, and then I moved back with the Blackbird to get I didn't move back. I disagree completely, Tyler. We can play that game out if you'd like. Tyler says Joker has 14 good powers and has more clicks than any other figure in Modern. He would destroy Wolvie one-on-one. So I completely disagree with you, Tyler, because of this fact. You can't ever rely on those powers being on your dial. If you need something, you can't rely on it being there. Every turn you have to roll, and you might go somewhere else. And if you're on the one you want, then you're definitely not having it the next turn. So you better hope you're not on the click you want the next turn. Wolverine has the stats that he just needs, and you're going to have to get onto a click where you can do extra damage because you have a base damage of 1 with Joker. And so other than super senses, haha, Joker has no defenses other than on click 4 that hurt his flurry. So I can do 1, 2, 3, I put you to your thing, and I won't get to you turn 1, so you're obviously somewhere else on their dial. I get you past it, you go somewhere else, I flurry you again. Alright, my second flurry, I hit you, so unless you're on click 4, I only need a 6 attack. And I'm pretty sure you don't live, so unless you're on click 1, I'm going to be adjacent to you, so click 2 doesn't help you, unless you randomly roll a 1 or a 2. Not randomly. If you would happen to get a 1 or a 2, alright, yeah, and I'm in with range, you have to roll an 8 to hit me, because I'm going to be in stealth probably, or in hindering, if you can even see me on the map. And you can't move an attack other than your sidestep, so you're going to have to roll an 8. Then if you're on click 3, I don't care about any of those powers unless I'm on my stop click, but I'll probably just regen if you ever get me to that, unless it's somehow I'm pushed. You have flurry that can do no damage to me, so that's always cool. Then you have charge with precision strike, so you can finally do a damage to me. And then you have blades with exploit, so that could be a dangerous click, but what are you doing to do it twice? So I'm going to hit you, and the first time I hit you or attack you, you're probably taking a token off. So I really only have to hit you 5 times with him, or flurry you 5 times and hit each attack. And that's if you don't roll a down some. So I disagree with you wholeheartedly, Tyler. You have the disadvantage in this matchup 99% of the time. And that's straight at 50 points, nothing else with them. Anyways, back to what I was saying. So I sidestepped off with Cyclops, so he went away, so he couldn't retaliate with anybody. So he kind of sits back and waits. I clear all of my stuff. He sidesteps and picks up some objects. I move up in my ring more because I was towards the back of my ring to start with, and he ends up charging with a giant girl. I call out, at this point, I call out Brudex at the front corner of my ring, and he's got a 10 range because he's adjacent to the jet. and I perplexed up his attack and damage. I think I did his damage to a 5, his attack to a 12, and ended up shooting at a 20-point giant girl, a 50-point giant girl, or no, a 10-point giant girl, a 20-point giant girl, fast force, the 10-point fast forces giant girl, 20-point regular force giant girl, and the yellow jacket. I hit yellow jacket for 3, 2 to the 20-point, and 10 to the retaliation fast forces 1. So I killed 2 figures and hit Tiger down a lot off of her perplex, which really hindered his team. Then I moved with the Blackbird and repositioned the other figure that called him in, which is Wolverine, on the other side of the jet, and Brood X went away. So he had nothing to retaliate on again, and I was able to make 2 Pogs. Then he had to decide to move up some, so he moved up, and then I ended up just flurrying and picking apart his team. Oh no, that wasn't it. Then I called out real girled out Jean Grey, because my first 2 rolls on the resource were bad, but I ended up real girling out of Jean Grey. I went and running shotted. I TK'd myself up some, and running shot, and perplexed up my damage by 3 and my attack by 1, so it was 12 on the Wasp. What's the Wasp? That's defense. The Wasp defense on her 50-point click is 17. So I made it at 11. So it was 11 for 6 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 11 for 6 damage. And I ended up killing the Wasp in 1 turn. And this, no. So her bad thing when she dies is damage each friendly character within 6 squares, 1 unavoidable or 1 penetrating damage. And that wiped out 3 of his things, hurt his last 50-point character, and ended up cleaning up from there. It was, as you see, a pretty brutal game. I called out 3 student IDs and a main ID. I think that math is right. Yeah, and that's all he got. And then round 5, I actually played Bobby is his name. It's Robert on here, but it's Bobby. He's a local there. He was playing on the first day. What was he playing? Bobby. What were you playing the first day, Bobby? I can't remember. Shredders? He's playing Sam Cap and a Shredder, I think. Honestly, I cannot remember for the life of me. I remember. He's running Sam Cap. He's running Sam Cap, Renatelli, Sam Cap, Renatelli. Which Shredder was it? Was it Clone? I think it was Clone without the Ocean Resurrection. And some Retaliation. Yeah, that was his team. Let me add that up. So 75, right? That's what Clone is. Oh man, I can't spell. Clone is 75 plus 70. That's 145. Plus Renatelli is 55, so that's 200. What was his other 70 points? Oh, it's Doc Ock, I think. Was it Doc Ock? It was Doc Ock. He was running Doc Ock on the team as well. And then he was running a Retaliator, I think, and 2 IDs or 3 student IDs. Can't remember off the top of my head. But it was a pretty good team. I actually got lucky beating it in this matchup because I misplayed. I positioned wrong. But I went out and then to my area. He actually went behind me, which hurt me. because I don't have flurry and stuff on that side, but it didn't matter because he actually killed my jet. No, he came to the front of me. I didn't let him behind me. I counted it out correctly where he couldn't get behind me. But he came up. He was still on my side of the map, though. It was just, I think, the one character that I needed not to be on that side of the map wasn't. And then, so he kills my jet. He comes up, calls out Wolverine. Misses the first attack because it was a 12 on a 19. I team probbed it. He missed with the first attack. Second attack, he hits the Blackbird for 3. Then he flurries in the Blackbird with Doc Ock. First time hits the first one. Then he tries to hit a Thug. Does hit a Thug, and Thug's still alive. But Cyclops came out. I dropped him on the other side. Then he calls out, or no. Then he second flurry. He tries to hit a Wolverine. Misses the first attack. No, he tried to hit a Moira because he didn't have line of fire. He did hit a Moira, killed her. Then he had line of fire on a Wolverine and went to hit the Wolverine and missed because I perplexed it up. Then, let's see. He was done after that. Those 3 actions: move up, call out, attack with the call out, and attack with the Doc Ock. Yeah, because Shredder Clone has leadership top dial. So my turn is I running shot and kill the Doc Ock in one shot with the Cyclops who was dropped out because he's got a 5 damage. So Doc Ock only takes 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So I perplexed his damage once to a 6. Went and shot the Doc Ock. No, I didn't. I went and shot the Sam Cap, actually. One shot her because it was 13 on an 18. I one shot her. Then I get a free attack on Doc Ock, and I one shotted him as well. Then I charge flurried next to Renatelli and Clone. First attack was on to Wolverine. Hit Wolverine. Second attack was onto Clone. I missed Clone. Then I took a free attack with Wolverine and killed the Wolverine. Then I came up with the second Wolverine and flurry. Oh, I didn't flurry. I'm sorry. The first attack was onto Clone. I missed it. The free attack, because I was on my side of the map, free attack was onto the Wolverine call-in. I did this first, obviously, because the Wolverine went away after Sam Cap was gone, but it's alright. We'll discuss those things afterwards, if you have questions. But then free attacked on the Wolverine. Then I flurried, or I came up and charged and tried to hit the Clone again. I did hit it once with this Wolverine. We are all in the box ring, so I did have a 12 attack, even though I had used all my perplexes on the other Wolverine. So it's 12, went down to a 10 on an 18. Did hit, and then I killed the Wolverine with the free attack. So it was just the Clone who had taken 3 damage and the undamaged Rennet. And I think it was pretty fast after that. I think I just finished him up pretty easily after that. No, it didn't. What did he kill after that? Oh, I dropped the tank. I dropped the tank at one point. He killed the tank. He ended up killing the jet, and then I think a Wolverine. Because he did end up calling out, sidestepping, damaging Wolverine. I don't know if I will be playing in Louisiana or I will be playing in Georgia. It all depends on who wants to go where, the people riding with me. And I mean, Louisiana is an easier drive for me because the way home would be easier, but I don't know because I'm going to Leeds, Alabama to play in the sealed WKO, and then I have to decide from there, do I want to go to the Louisiana states or do I want to go to Georgia states or do I just want to go home from there? Because that's actually pretty enticing as well because I've already won 2 states. I'm not practicing tonight because I'm kind of clicked out after 2 days, 16 rounds of clicks. And the last round of both of the days were pretty intense. Um, so I don't know. I have not decided. I do want to meet some of the people like Scott and them who are going to the Louisiana one, but I have some friends that are going to the Georgia one, so we will see. It just depends. Let's go. Next round was the first round of. That's not right. They had to mix it all up. So, this was the. This was it after the round 1, or after the top cut. We went here. I was actually 5-0. They went in and did an extra round on accident. But I played in the first round. It was me versus 1, 2, it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, that's right, Aaron Morgan, which was probably the most interesting team I saw all day. It was actually the what is that big ass thing that looks like a squid starfish thing? My God, now I gotta look it up because I'm an idiot and we're going blank. Let's go, WizKids. It's a DC thing. Starro. Don't even have to look it up. Never mind. He was playing the new Starro, which is cool. Well, not Starroy. Starro. Played on 100 points. Had a lot of retaliation with it. I corrected myself. I didn't know it had Secret Society. Man, I'm so gonna wreck some people with the Secret Society of Supervillains team with this guy. But he played a cosmic theme team. He had a +8, +8, I think. But anyways, I won map surprisingly enough. He was Starro at 100, Unseen at 65. He had 3 Floras, Mangog, Asserter, and a Groot. Oh, so I think we were straight up. Maybe he had one other thing that I'm not thinking of. But I don't think so. But I actually ended up winning map, which hurt him because I took him to the sporting arena, the boxing ring map. And I can fill my starting area there, so he couldn't give me group pogs. And I got to go first. So I went first. I perplexed up stuff, went in the boxing ring like always. He moved up, didn't call anything out. He didn't want to attack just yet because I was just out of range of his Starro, because his Starro has 10 range and a sidestep. So I knew I needed to be 12 squares away with my figures because his Starro doesn't really do damage. He could have started doing damage on the Quinjet or on the Blackbird, but it's 1 damage at a time, and he would have had to hit a 11 down to a 9 onto a 19, so he would have had to roll a 10. So because he can't mind control the jet or the Blackbird, which is still a jet. So I was just out of range for him to mind control any of my characters. I sidestepped up with Wolverine, called out I actually sidestepped back because he moved his floors up. Called out Professor Brood X, shot his 3 floras because he missed all of his what are they called? Healing. So killed all 3 of those, and then moved all the way back into my starting area, and made him come to me. So next turn, he moves up his Starro into my boxing ring, um, comes up and with Unimind. There was someone else on this team. Who was it? Because Unimind... Oh, the Pim Tank. That was the last thing on his thing. It was a Pim Tank. And Unimind... Not Unimind. Unseen carries up the Pim Tank. And this is where he probably lost the game. Because after he phased into my ring, he left me area to running shot into it. And he did not use Smoke Cloud for free afterwards for Unseen. So I call out, actually I Real Void out a Cyclops. And running shot into the ring and one shot his, what is that thing called? Unseen. I don't know why I keep going blank on it. The Unseen. He rolled a 4. He thought he succeeded, and I had to break the news to him. It's like, Aaron, I'm sorry, but you did not succeed because I have Precision Strike on this Cyclops. And he was very upset about that. But, so that's probably where the game turned for him. It almost got really bad for me, though, because he... so to get out that Real Boy, I actually called out a... No, I didn't. What did I do to hit this thing to 1 damage? Don't even remember. But I called out something to get it out, and I shot at the Starro. I don't remember. No, I came up and flurried it. That's what it was. So he pushed to try to hit some stuff. So he Colossal Stamina'd, went to click 2. I came up with Wolverine, did 2 damage to him, so he went to click 4. Then I hit him again. He went to click 6. I tried to hit him one more time with something, which would have gotten him to his stop click, and I missed. It was horrible that I did. Because the next turn, he actually mind controlled 2 of my Wolverines and a Thug, and I killed the Jet. He separated my team, and it was pretty bad. But I ended up being able to charge a flurry him again, got him to a stop click, and ended up not being able to do anything. He came over, Surtur retaliated. Didn't kill anything because it missed. Oh, that's what it was. I came up and hit. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's back up a turn or 2. He brought up his Mangog a little bit. I called out a Cyclops, the student Cyclops, or the Headmaster Cyclops, running shot up and shot the Mangog that he moved up, killing the Mangog so that he couldn't pull the Odin Sword. Then I don't remember how I killed Surtur. No, I think I let him bring Surtur over. I don't remember how I killed Surtur. Anyways, not important right this second. Then he tried to mind control. He did mind control stuff, killed that. My Cyclops came out, put him to a stop click. I had no more actions, or all of my stuff was action tokened, so I couldn't really do anything else. I had to wait a turn. That's when I got Surtured. That's right. So came over, got Surtured. I killed Surtur, and then I ended up killing Starro. It was a close game, actually. I think if he didn't mess up with Unseen, that game would have been a lot worse for me. I think he probably could have taken it if he had that Unseen there the whole time. And then I went into, they actually made a separate game for this one. Well, looks like I'm just going to go all the way back to my events. States finals because they messed up and had to start a new one, but they just entered it. Round one was me against one of my best friends, Michael Bice. He was actually there. He actually rode there with me. He was playing Unimind, Lockjaw, and Groot team. Same team I played at Nationals. Same team Dan played this last weekend, except for the Mudman. So same team Dan played at Nationals. I call out Rusty first turn, roll the dice, real boy out a leech. I don't let him TK to his object to equip it. So he carries up, or no, he sidesteps up, takes stealth, or he moves up. Then he rolls leadership with Groot. I move up. He tries to pick sidestep to get on it. Or no, I was going to let him get on the object and equip it. I told him he couldn't use hypersonic. He takes, I don't remember what he took. I think he took stealth. He did. He took stealth. He took stealth because I didn't want him to take hypersonic, and he shot at the Blackbird from where he was. He perplexed up his attack and defense, so he needed an 11 on a 19 because it went back down from a 13 to 11 shooting into the ring. He had a perplex that he put into damage to kill it from Lockjaw, and no prob, but I couldn't prob it either, so he rolled. He hit his 8 he needed, and my Blackbird died, so I couldn't KO that, or I couldn't Theme Team prob it, but my Cyclops came out. Then he moved back and carried with Groot, and he put himself into hindering, just outside of where he probably should have been. I was able to perplex up movement, sidestep, charge, flurry him with a 4 damage, putting him to a stop click, and then sidestep, perplex up movement, attack, and charge, flurry him again, popping his Unimind. He did not roll his out, which was a, what was his out? His out was a 19? Yeah, 19. Or no, impervious, that's what it was. He didn't have shape change. And if he would have gone back 2 squares instead of the square he went into, I would have never been able to pop him that turn. Me and him discussed it afterwards. It was just a misposition by him. He ended up popping, and then a running shot killed the Thanos with Cyclops and had to pass from there. Ended up flurrying the Lockjaw down. It was, after that, it was pretty easy game. But it was a good game. Then the finals of Alabama State's was against Easton Brock. And if you can see this score right here, I don't know if this one's not zoomed in. That was our final score. He called in 1 additional ID card. No, he did not call an additional. We called in the exact same amount of ID cards and KO'd the exact same figures, per se, against each other. Or amount of points, but he called in a headmaster ID, and I called in a student ID, and that's what made the difference in the game. Yeah, it was a pretty brutal game. It was awesome, but it was a good game though. Then we have, let's see. So the start of the game, I win map again. I actually take us to Underground Cavern. I go out to the starting. I don't call out whatever leech combo. Then I go to the middle. He Sidestep calls out Brood X. Perplexes up everything that he needs to. And I pop out, or he KOs it. He gets in. He calls out a Cyclops. No. Yes, he called out a Cyclops to do that as well. Or did he call out a Cyclops to do that? That's what it was. So he called out a Cyclops to do that. And then got in the Blackbird. Not Brood X. And then he... we're in the underground, so we could see through one thing of blocking. My guy's +2. He tries to shoot, and then so he gets in the Blackbird. I KO the Blackbird with my +2 Cyclops. The next turn, then I KO the Cyclops that he called in, because I can shoot through blocking that he tried to hide behind. Yeah, so I shoot through that and kill his Cyclops and the Blackbird in one turn. So I'm down a Blackbird, he's down a Blackbird and a Cyclops. He calls out Brood X the next turn. I am positioned where he has to kill a Moira before he can get to my Cyclops. So his Cyclops came out with pluses to everything. And he shoots at the Moira with Brood X. He shoots at Moira, a Thug, and I think that's it. Moira and a Thug in the ring with the Brood X. Brood X misses. First one, he teams it, hits the second. But he only hits the Thug. The Moira stays alive. So he has to running shot with the Cyclops, shoot the Moira. Then he has the chance to shoot at the Cyclops, and he kills my Cyclops there. So I'm down a Moira and a Thug. Or no, I'm sorry. I'm down... Thug lived. How did my Thug live? Oh, because he did all 3 damage to the Moira. So he killed the Moira with Brood X. And he then calls out nothing, because that was it. So my turn, I call out a Cyclops. I running shot and shoot a Moira, and then shoot through a wall he's hiding behind to kill the Cyclops that just came out of the tank, or of the Blackbird. So now I'm down the Jet, a Cyclops, and a Moira. He's down a Jet, 2 Cyclopses, and a Moira. I then back up my team to my side of the map because he has essentially no more range except for one more Cyclops call in. No. Yeah, he's one more Cyclops call in. He starts moving his stuff up. He's in the ring at this point. I decide to charge with one of my Wolverines. I charge Flurry. He's on his side of the map, so he's a 19. I'm at a 13, I think. I hit the first one to a stop click. Then I decide to drop the tank. The tank drop misses, so I missed the second attack, which I'm really dumb for doing, and I did it the wrong way. There was actually a Brood X token, or a Royal Hatchling next to me, which had a 17 defense, and I could have easily hit that, but I was dumb and didn't, which, it's alright. Then I called out with the other Wolverine I had, and charge flurried with that Wolverine, and I dropped the tank, and it repositioned both of... I killed his Wolverine, killed his Brood X token, and repositioned his other Wolverine to where it was next to me, where I could use the second flurry onto that one, which I did. Then I put him to stop click. Then it was his turn. He kills the Wolverine and then I sidestep off the fake Wolverine, or the called-in Wolverine. Then he calls out Cyclops with that Wolverine, free attacks on the tank, and then sidesteps, or he calls out Cyclops. Cyclops free attacks onto the tank, kills it. He sidesteps with the Wolverine to my Wolverine and pings him for a damage, or not pings him, attacks him for a damage to put him to a stop click, and then he running shots out of the or running shots to shoot that Wolverine. So on the board are for each of us. I have a Thug, a Moira, and a Wolverine. He has a Thug, a Moira, a Wolverine, and his Pim Tank. How it worked was I KO'd 2 Cyclopses, a Wolverine, his Jet, and his Jet. Then I got his, he called out Brudex, he called out Big Cyclops, and he called out Little Cyclops. He KO'd a Wolverine, a Tank, a Moira. Oh, we both KO'd a Moira. A Moira. Start over. He killed my Tank, my Cyclops, a Moira, my Jet, and I called out a Student Cyclops, a big. Oh, I never called out my second Big Cyclops. That's why. Was that the difference? No, it was. I did call out my second Big Cyclops. So I called out my Student Cyclops, a Big Cyclops, and a Wolverine. No, that's what it was. I didn't call out the Little Cyclops. I only called out Wolverine and Little Cyclops. That was the difference in the game. Was he called out both of his Cyclopses, and I only called out my Little Cyclops compared to his, because I called out one thing less, and it came down to 2 points. I don't think these points are actually the exact points we turned in or whatever. We were busy congratulating each other, but it was, I won by 2 points, and that's what they ended up putting in. So it was awesome. It's a great game. And that's Alabama. Well, yeah, I know I could load these up, but that would take forever. And I don't remember every placement. So, like, this one was here, and he shoots here. Like, I can't even remember this stuff, like, if it happened a turn ago. How can I remember it, like, 2 days later? But I will go over Alabama a lot faster. Let's do or Mississippi. So I'll just do it really quickly. So, first round, I played against a... Let's just pull up the people so I can try to remember the stuff. Events, MS State Championships, a few results. All right, Aaron Thomas. What did he play? First round, I played against. My God, what team was this? I really should write these down. Aaron Thomas, what did he play? I know he was really angry at how the Blackbird worked. And if you're watching this, Aaron, I'm sorry, but I don't remember what you played. Oh, it was Star Fox team. That's what it was. All right, so Aaron Thomas played a Star Fox team. He had a jet, or a invisible jet on his team. He placed his invisible jet because I took him to the underground. Not underground, to the sporting arena, and I set my boxing ring right in front of it, and then put objects on the corners, and then put when I moved up into my square, I put Moira's right there on the edges. So he came up and picked up his Mjolnir, and the next turn he was going to try to flurry, and Turns out that he couldn't flurry because the Blackbird has stealth, and everything was behind the Blackbird, or he would have had to move. It was interesting. Oh no, first turn he did have a lockjaw, so I called out, or I picked up. I called out the Rusty, did the leech thing. So it was turn 2 that I moved up. So he was already on his stuff. Turn 2 I moved up, and he was going to do that. But I said he couldn't TK, so he couldn't TK in the first turn to equip. So he had to move up, and he equipped turn 2. I was in the ring by turn 2, so I was clearing. Then at turn 3, he was trying to shoot me through the invisible jet, which is hindering for line of fire, and he couldn't see. So that was always fun. Made sure to be in hindering, but he decided instead of trying to hit someone else that he was just going to go to the other side of me, and ended up going to the other side of me. I called out, hit some things. I don't remember exactly how it went down, but ended up killing his. Oh, I force blasted. That's what it was. Force blasted with the. I took the Chase Cyclops as a student this day because I knew there would be more Star Fox teams. I saw a lot of Star Fox teams the day before. Luckily, I didn't run into them, and I was like, having that Force Blast is going to be key. So I took the Cyclops and Force Blasted them and killed. Yeah, it was over pretty quick. Game 2, I played against Edwin, which was the same team he played before. Shredder, Clone, Pip, Mini, Peace Machine, Carnage. I ended up killing almost his whole team, but it came down to points at the end, and I ended up missing a 6 times in one turn. I had a flurry with 11 on an 18 onto Mini. I missed twice. I called out, oh, and then I had a free attack and missed as well. Then, which I didn't prob those attacks because I didn't have line of fire. Then I called out a Jean Grey, and was gonna one-shot the Peace Machine because he was already on his second click, which I missed because it was an 18, 11 on 18. I needed 7 for this attack, and I missed twice. I missed. I theme team probbed it, and I missed again. Then I took the free attack onto Mini, and I missed that as well. So I missed 6 attacks in one turn. That wasn't Jean Grey. I don't get a free attack with Jean Grey. It was Cyclops. But anyways, I missed either way. Lots of attacks. And it ended up costing me the game because I would have been up on points if I killed the Peace Machine, and he couldn't have called out the thing he did the next turn and killed the Wolverine. But it's the way the dice roll for sometimes. Round 3. I played Joe Clark. Joe Clark was playing some 3 King Sharks, Tribbles, and 3 Tribbles, and a few ID cards. So I actually separated my team for once in the day. It was the first time I separated. That's actually the first time in 9 games that I'd separated them. 10 games. And I put my 2 Wolverines in the boxing ring. We were on the water treatment plant, and so I knew he was going to come to one side because I was on that side when I start. I saw where he went the first turn. I put the ring where he could only get to the ring, or he had to go all the way around, but he couldn't get up all the way to my Blackbird in one turn. So I gave him bait with the Wolverines. He came in, he hit a Wolverine. So he comes up in flurries. I prob it to a miss. He's got to hit a 20 because I perplexed up their defense and they had combat reflexes on my side. So it's 12 on a 20. He hits the first one. I prob it to a miss, and he misses the second one. Oh, it's a 13 because he's in the ring. Sorry, so he has a 7. So he hits. I make him prob it. He misses. He rolls again. He hits. I make him prob it. He hits again. So I've used 2 probs. He's hit twice. I use another theme team, misses. Then he comes up with a second one into the ring as well. So 13 out of 17, and he misses his first attack. Then he hits his second, which would KO him, the Wolverine, because he did end up hitting with 1. Sorry. And then he ended up missing, not KOing him. Then his third one was going to try to come up, but it was blocked where he couldn't get into the ring, so it would have been a 10 on 20s. So he kind of just went around and was going to wait till the next turn where he could get in the ring or to the jet. Then I called out a Wolverine with the Wolverine that got hit. They both got a free attack. I'd already pushed my Moiras to their outwits. I outwitted something, free attack, called out Cyclops, flurried and flurried, killed both of the ones in the ring with me, and then he moved up with his third one and just killed the Jet and a Moira with his attacks. That was it, really. The game was over really quick. King Sharks is fast one way or the other every time. It's never a long game. Round 4, I played Bobby, who had switched over to a Blackbird team. He was new to piloting it. He did pretty good, but that's the game I called out Leech and outwitted all of his charges and perplexes. It was a good game, but ended up sweeping him. He got a called-in character and and 2 Wolverines, I think. No, he got a. Anyways, I swept his whole team plus call-ins. Round 4, I played against a round 5, I played against a Unimind. He came to my side. I came up. I said he couldn't use stealth. He came up. I outwitted his. He perplexed up his defense. I outwitted his shape change. Because he had Hellion, so he Hellioned up his Unimind and his Pip. Called out his. Not called out, and then he equipped, and then moved up with Pip onto my side in the boxing ring. He had a Groot and a Carnage? Surtur. On his team. He came up. I outwitted his shape change, his super senses, and his invincible because I had called out Leech and pushed both of my Moiras to stop clicks or to outwit. And then I charged into the ring, hit him for 4 damage with 1 Wolverine, putting him to a stop click. Charged into the ring, hitting him with another Wolverine, popping him, and then I don't think I killed anything else that turn. I think that was it. Yeah, because I had to push one of the Moiras, and then I had those 2 attacks. I couldn't call something else an attack as well, and nothing else was in range or able to do anything important, so I think I only took 3 actions that turn. So then he comes over with Surtur, kills a Wolverine, calls out with Cersei, all new Wolverine. We're on my half, so this is in the second half of the map. Oh, that's what it was. The 4th action, the last turn, I moved my jet over to the ring so that he could not retaliate from inside the ring, was my goal. But he called out with Cersei, all new. The Jonathan Pog it got called out. He tries to hit with all new. All new hits my jet. Jet is KO'd with a awesome blaze roll of 6. Cyclops comes out really angry. Surtur comes over because there's now room in the boxing ring, retaliates and kills Wolverine. Jonathan tries to attack Cyclops and misses. My turn. The other Wolverine that took damage calls in Wolverine, so him and Cyclops heal back up for free. He takes a free attack onto Surtur. Cyclops takes a free attack onto, or no, actually shoots. No, I'm sorry. Wolverine that was called in doesn't take the free action to attack Surtur. The real one takes the free action to kill the Surtur. The other one charge flurries in to kill Cersei and all new Wolverine because we're perplexed up as damage. And then he takes the free attack on Jonathan. Oh, no, that's what it was. He took the free attack onto a charge flurried, one attack onto Jonathan to KO him once, one attack into all new Wolverine to hit her down, then a free attack onto all new Wolverine to kill her. And then I shoot the Cersei. That's 1, 2, 3 actions with Cyclops. Oh, that's what it was. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm messing up here. Free action attacked the all new Wolverine. Not the... And then I flurried the Cersei and the Jonathan Pog. Then I free attacked with the Cyclops to KO the all new Wolverine. That's what it was. So I killed essentially his whole team except Pip and the Hellion. Ended up cleaning up after that because there was a thug actually killed. My thug actually killed the Thanos, and I think I ended up wiping or killing the Makari the next turn. All right, so in the next turn, what was it? I played him again. He carried up with Hellion, or he carried up Hellion and this guy this time, or in Unimind this time. I ended up coming up. It was a much faster game. He actually crit missed on his Thanos when it popped out, and then immediately tried to attack with his Cersei as well, and crit missed again. So after I'd popped his Uni, he's dead twice. It was a brutal game. I think the only thing he killed was a Moira in this game. Yeah. Round 7 was me versus Mike again. That's another Unimind matchup. I played 3 Uniminds in a row. Mike messed up by not going into hindering again after KOing one of my Wolverines. I called out a Cyclops and went and popped his Uni, and it was all she wrote after that. Round 8 was against Edwin. It was a hard-fought match. Ended up he was playing the 2 Shredders with the Peace Machine again and Pip. But it was a hard-fought game. Ended up taking it. I killed his clone like turn 2. Misplayed with the Brood X. I was 1 square too far away. I didn't get to kill the Carnage. He ended up killing a Wolverine. But I could still shoot because I took him to Crash Landing, the rock map, where I hid behind or in the blocking with my boxing ring, and it was pretty brutal. I could just shoot him from a square that was adjacent outside of the boxing ring, where I could call stuff in from across the map, essentially, and he would. So I killed the shark was above the terrain, obviously, so I could shoot him. So ended up killing him. So I was up on points by a lot, and then I killed a Peace Machine and the Groot. I think Mini was the only thing he had left at the end, which had already been reset. No, had not been reset, but I still had the Jean Grey to call in. I think he killed both Wolverines, and that was both Wolverines and a Cyclops call in that I left on the board on accident because it did misplay. That was my weekend. I went 8-0 the first day, and then went 7-1 with Edwin being my own loss all weekend. So it was a great weekend altogether. Tyler did ask What do you think beats the team or scares you when you see it? Honestly, nothing really scares me when I see the team because the damage output that it does. I think the mirror match is the only thing that has a chance against it. Uh, the whales, I know you're asking because of the whales. I think the whales have a chance, but you can't. No, I don't think that the whales have a chance. To be completely honest with you, I can just go shoot your retaliators, or outwit them if I need to. That they can't retaliate. I kill the Surtur obviously first. The Groots, and I think, yeah, and they leave one of the Groots with the thing and just outwit his retaliation until I can deal with him. You have Mini. I don't really care about Mini at first. I just kill the sharks. I can reset Mini in a turn if I need to. Um, Hawkeye. Hawkeye with Little Star Fox doesn't really scare me with Giant Girls because you're not going to be able to get in the ring to shoot, so you're going to be outside of my ring shooting. You do get to pick map, but like I said, you're not going to be able to get in the ring and shoot with Hawkeye. So you can have a 13 attack with Hawkeye, goes down to an 11 on a 19. We both have 5 probs for the attacks. So that doesn't really scare me. I have no retaliation. You can't perplex up his damage except for to a 3. So you can kill my Moiras. Yay, kill my Moiras. You can hurt my Wolverines. I can just heal them back up to top click. So, I don't know. Nothing really scares me except the mirror match. I mean, there might be something that I'm not thinking of, but I don't see anything that really hurts the team overall. I think it's just a solid team because it has the most broken piece in the meta ever, in my opinion. A 15 power, 50 point, stop click beast of a machine. That's all it is. Can't stop, won't stop. All right. Well, thank you for tuning in, everyone. I appreciate the views. Remember, if you haven't hit the follow button at the top, we are 3 followers away from making affiliate. I really appreciate it if you went to the Twitch channel, if you're watching this on YouTube. Hit that follow button at the top. Really helps out. It's twitch.tv/clickstoff_broadcast. Thanks again for tuning in. I hope I didn't ramble too long. I probably did. Not many people were that interested in what happened, but hey, if you wanted to know how the Blackbird team worked and what it does and how it can do, that's what this video is for you. Thanks for joining in. Have a good night, everyone.